Hey everybody, we are going to have a look at modeling this USB drive today, and what you can see is it's a very simple model, so it shouldn't be too hard to do. We'll make this little switch-like structure which will push up the drive there. And I guess it seems a little redundant the more I think about it to have this cap, right? Because, you know, if this is down, this is retracted. So, looks like we're not going to have to do the cap. Okay? I didn't even think about that. All my images have the cap, and I even wrote USB up there. I'm disappointed to not have the cap, but we do have that, so we don't need the cap. All right, so you can see that on the back I've got some other stuff. So I'm going to be using the knife tool to do that. We're going to be doing some booleans, and you know, just typical modeling stuff. So I like to do easy stuff so I can get a product and feel good about using Blender. Okay. So I'm in Blender 2.76. I'm in front ortho view, and I've got my screencast keys on here. And I'm going to start by making sure that I'm recording, which I am. So I'm going to start by adding a cube here. I'm going to scale it in the Z like this. I'm going to scale it in the X a little bit. I'm going to scale it a bit more in the Z. Okay, I'll scale it in the Y, make it a little bit thinner, so it's a bit more of a rectangle-like shape. All right, let's have a look at this baby. Maybe even a little bit thinner than that. Scale it in the Y a bit thinner. All right, so this is going to be the base part of it. And yeah, this is going to be very straightforward to do. So I'm going to apply scale, and I'm going to come in, and in edge mode, I'm going to select all of the 4 vertical edges there. Control B, pull back on my mouse, and I'm going to scroll up a few times, and that's going to give me some curvature. All right, I'm going to come down, and I'm actually going to bevel the top and the bottom. Okay, so let's grab the whole thing, and the whole thing. Control B, pull up, scroll a bit, and we're going to get that effect. All right, that's about it for that. So I'm going to come into the front, Shift Control S, cursor to selected, and I'm going to create this little this indentation thing here. The way I'll do that is I'm going to bring in a circle, rotate X 90. Scale it. I hear that baby's up. My wife is with our baby, so it'll be my job soon. Vertex selection, and I think we need to scale this down a bit more. Box select. Let's get rid of all these, and Shift D. Rotate Y 90. No, that's not right. Rotate Y 180. There we go. Pull that down. I'm going to connect these with a face. Connect these with a face. Choose them all. F to put a face inside. E. I'm going to bring it out. And you see that discoloration means I've got to go Control N and flip my poly so they're all facing out. Okay, I'm going to be using this as a cutting tool, so I'm going to grab that, Control V, and I'm going to make it like that. Okay, that's origin geometry, and let's push that in here to make an indentation. I'm going to bring it up a little bit though, so I can write some text below there. Okay, so let's do a Boolean difference with this guy, apply, and let's have a look. Okay, that's my indentation there. What I'd like to do is I'd like to see if I can bevel this edge or not. It may or may not go well for me. So we're going to give it a try. Control B, pull back, and see if I can get a few. Yeah, it's a little bit rounded. Now to make the button or the slider there, I'm going to come back into the model, the object. I'm going to grab that face, Shift D to duplicate it, P to make it a new selection. Back into object mode, and I can pull that out in that direction. Origin of geometry, and let's try scaling it in the Z. I don't like what that does to the shape, so I'm going to go into edit mode from the front, wireframe, and vertex, and I'm going to grab, let's say I grab these vertices and I pull them up. The more I think about it, the more I think I am going to have to deform it. Anyhow, that looks too circular. So let's try scaling it in the Z. Let's just try that. Just see what that looks like. See if it's a pleasant shape. It's not that bad of a shape, actually. Let's expand that. E to extrude. I'm just going to extrude down. I get this discoloration of poly, so Control N will fix that. Let's push that in and bring it towards the top. I kind of like that, although I think I need to scale it out a bit. Let's apply scale to that and grab the top and bevel it. Those vertices were pretty close, so I gotta be careful there. All right, that's all right. Bring it down. That's maybe a bit much. Scale it in the Y. And bring it down a bit more. So it's like that. Okay. That's not too bad. Okay, let's go ahead and add some text to this. Rotate X at 90, and we'll come over to the text panel, choose center, bring it down, scale, bring it out. All right, edit mode, let's just write 16 gigabytes. Back to object mode, and we'll scale it a bit more. And I don't have any good font selected, so we'll go into our font folder and we will just go zoom. We'll pick one, just like that. Just any one. Increase the depth and some extrusion. And I'll bring up the resolution a little bit. And let's push this back in a little bit. Maybe I'll make it a bit bigger. Okay, so it's gonna look like that. Okay. Alt C, make it a mesh, and join it. Okay. Save. So far, so good. Okay, now that we have that part. And by the way, if I wanted to scale it in the Y a little bit, maybe I want to grab that piece too. Scale it in the Y a little bit. You know, I could still do that. Okay, so now we're going to start making this part. Okay, let's just get a front view of that. Okay. So to get a similar kind of curvature, although I don't know that it's all that necessary, I might come in and try to grab, let's say that. Yeah, I think I'm going to grab that. Shift D, P to make it its own selection. Come on out, grab it, move it up. Origin geometry, and I'm going to use this to build that actual, you know, the drive part. Let's see if I bring that just down to there. That's a decent fit, actually. That's not bad at all. Okay, so when I slide the button up, this would come out. I don't have to make the hole. I could, but it's probably not worth it. And that might be a decent height right about there. So this is hollow, so I'm going to come into this in edit mode, face selection. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to go I to inset it and just inset it a little bit. It's pretty thin. E to extrude, push it down, and I'll go back to the front view in wireframe and I'll bring that down right down to there. Okay, so this is what I have so far. All right, awesome. Now, in the front view, there are these little rectangles that are right through, like a Boolean, and so that's what I'm going to do right now. So let's see. Is my camera slipping? It looks like my camera has slipped. This is all messed up, isn't it? World's worst video. Sorry about that. To do that, I think I will just cursor is selected. I'm just going to bring in a cube. I'll make it pretty small. We'll scale it the X a bit and roughly position it. Okay, I'm going to come into it and grab this back face and pull it right through the back. All right, so we can get holes in the front and the back at the same time. And let's scale it a tiny bit more in the Z. Let's do an apply scale and round these corners off, or these edges. Select all 4 edges, Control B, pull on my mouse, add a few segments, and now it's rounded. Beautiful. Okay, so in terms of their location, it's probably all right there. So let's try, let me make sure that's like that. Let's try a mirror. Let's mirror this across the X of that. Well, they look a little bit close together, to tell you the truth. But I'm looking at an actual USB here, and they are quite close, so I think that's probably okay. All right, so let's do a Boolean on this. Hide that, and I will get holes all the way through. But now what we want to do is I want to come in here and in edge select mode, want to grab just the outer edge of all of these rounded rectangles on the front and on the back. And we are going to see if we are in luck today to bevel these. All right, so Control B, pull back just a little bit, don't go nuts. 1, 2, I'm going to pull in a little bit, and that is what we get. Good. All right, I like it. Save that. Now let's bring back these guys right here. Let's move them down. And why is it like that? Oh, maybe I didn't. Did I not apply the mirror? Oh boy, doesn't matter. I'm gonna scale. I'm not gonna scale it like that though. I'm actually gonna go in edit mode, select them all, and switch over to individual origins, and then I'm gonna scale. And these are only on the one side, the front side. Actually, I can get rid of that now. So let's scale them in the Y, a lot smaller. I just need to push in here with these. We're not quite done though. I want to scale them smaller and scale them in the Z. Okay. So these are a couple of additional Booleans, but just indented. Now, have a look. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to select Boolean difference, apply. There we go, just like that. And I will do my best to select the outer edges of these as well. See, I gotta make sure I get it all. Let's give it a try. Control B, pull back. 1, 2. That's all I need to get a little bit of rounding in there. And that's how that part looks. Okay, I'll unhide those and I will delete them and save. So far, so good. Now, I'm just thinking about the back of this, all right? And what I'm thinking is this. I need to make this structure. I'm gonna use the knife tool for that. But I want to bevel this top edge. And so I might just go ahead and bevel this before I do anything else. Let me see if I could even do that. If I grab all of these inner and outer parts. Let's see how well it would bevel first of all. Oh, it's beveling nicely. Let's have a look at that. Nicely rounded. Let's go with that. Okay, so this is the back side. So 1 is the front side. Okay, and then for control, no, not that. Was that a flash command or something? Control 1 is the exact back. All right. I think I'm going to hide that. No, you know what? Let's bring that back for a moment. Let's join these. Okay. Then let's hide this. And control 1 is the back side. All right. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use the knife tool and I'm going to cut down and I'm going to make a little square and I'm going to cut down and I'm going to make a little square. And I just want to see whereabouts I need to do that. So the first sort of square is, you know, up near the top corner of this, and the next one is a ways down. So we're just going to do it. All right. So K for the knife tool, and I'm going to start right about there. Actually, if I want to get a middle piece, I could select that edge, and in vertex mode I could go W, subdivide, and put a point right there in the middle of that edge, which should be the middle of the thing. Oh, control 1. And now my knife tool, I know I'm going to start right in the middle there. If I on that point, I'm going to come down a ways, and I'm going to come out, and I'll straighten these up later. Down, and then I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to do another one. Oh, it's terrible. I'm going to come down here to there. Okay. Spacebar to end it. Now I'm going to grab in edge mode that one, this one, and this one. And I'm going to go scale X 0 to straighten them in the X. Okay. And then I'm going to grab this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. These are all going to be scale Z0, straighten them. And this one, scale X0. Good, so they're the same height out and all that. Now, this maybe I'll pull down a little bit. Actually, I think I want to make these a bit bigger and a bit more noticeable. And if they're not the exact same distance, that doesn't really matter. Okay, I just want to make it look like it's a, you know, piece of metal. So now what I was thinking I would do is I would grab all of this, all right, and I was thinking I would control B to bevel it. What am I missing that piece there? Control B to bevel it. not too much, the small distance, put one division in and just try to get it nice and close. Something like that. Okay, so now I've got 3. And then go back to that inner line, and I just did Shift Alt and selected the whole thing, and unfortunately I didn't get anything else. And then now what I would do with this is I was just going to pull this in like that. Let's try that and see what that looks like. Okay. Well, that's what that looks like. I was also thinking I might be able to grab all of this, but not the extra pieces, and all of the other one. Let's make sure, see if I got that. I'm going to see if I can bevel this. I may or may not be able to. Oh. If I put one in there, don't have to keep that. We can see. To see if it rounds it a bit and catches a bit of light. I think it's okay. I think that's what I'm going to go with. It's just a question of do I want to do any more with that innermost line? And can I even find that one again? I don't think that's it. I'm not sure which one it was. I think it was that one. Well, I can come up here, I suppose. Just out of curiosity, what happens if I pull it further in? Does it help us or hinder us or do anything for us? It's not coming through the other end. I'll just leave it like that. Okay, cool. So let's unhide everything. And oh, geez, we're almost done. Now all I need to do is let's just go like that. Bring in a cube, scale it in the Y, slide it back here, scale it in the X till it touches the walls, and let's have a look in the wireframe and see where it is. Let's grab these vertices and pull them down so it's all the way down, and grab these vertices and pull them pretty much to the top. My camera shifting, is it sinking down again? Okay, and now I will apply scale, and I'll bevel this a little bit. That edge and that edge, just those two top edges, just to make it catch some light, look a bit more realistic. And that's the computer chip part of it. I'm going to join that to this. And that is mostly it. Now, what you could do, I guess, is I could come up here and go to simple deform, taper, and try something like 0.075. I don't know, something like that. And that would put a bit of it, it's a bit wider here and a bit narrower there. And then, that'll warp everything, but I think it looks okay like that. I don't have to apply it. So with that the way it is, we could smooth these. I could try a different smoothing angle for this and see if I can get rid of some of that, like that. And this one, same thing. That doesn't give me much smoothing, but 100%. That's what that looks like. It's very simple. Let's try a different material. Yeah, that's not looking that great. Something that you can try, and don't tell anyone I said so though. We'll see. This may or may not work. There's a lot of polys. Just hit extrude, accept, and come out. And it'll put a very flat face there, and that may get rid of the problem. And then you might be able to bump up now your smoothing. You know, let's try 45. And now the edges are really smooth, and we don't have that problem with that face. And I'm not sure if I'm having that issue with the front as well. If I was to bump this up to 45 right now, I get some of that. So let's see if this works. Okay, B, accept, come on out. All right, and smooths it nicely. So, you know, sometimes we gotta do these things. But anyways, that's what she looks like. Okay, really simple and easy. USB.